ace wrap on Stumpy. And Stumpy here is our little friend. And you can hold Stumpy since you're standing right here. All right, so I do it wrong. And why I do it wrong is because I do it my way. And why it's wrong is because they tell you not to do exactly what I'm about to do, which is a true circumferential wrap proximally first. And the reason I'm not worried about this in reality is because when I do this and I roll it around, now that's a tourniquet. So I've failed my test. Okay, so don't do this in the test. Okay, this is not the right way to do it. But in reality, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spiral down to the end, okay, and I'm going to grab the end. And then I'm going to come up a little bit, and then I'm going to spiral down to the end, and I'm going to grab the end right there. And notice my nice X pattern starting to form, okay? I'm going to spiral down, I'm going to come down to the end. So now my layers are happening more often towards the end than the top. And now, more compression, less compression, less compression, no compression, graduated compression, tourniquet no longer. Okay? I've got this on purpose. This is on purpose. What happens with the amputee, the first thing they do when they wake up? They bend their knee and they look at their leg. Okay? They're like, what the hell happened? Okay, and they look down and they're like, oh, crap, I want to look at it. So if I crossed the knee, what's going to happen to my ace wrap right here? It's going to come apart and it's going to jump off the kneecap in either direction and it's going to wrinkle. What's a wrinkle? Wrinkles extra compression and damage to the skin. So you want to try to maintain no wrinkles, right? And then provide more compression distally than proximally. And if you feel like your roll is really long, just go up the chain a little bit and don't pull real hard. You don't need to go past 50%. You can stay pretty minimal compression. And now you've got a nicely graduated compression custom to that patient at that moment. Okay, and of course those little clips with the little teeth, throw away, use your tape. Hopefully if you're in a privately funded hospital or a hospital that has some money behind them or somebody that cares about ace wraps, which is highly unlikely, they'll get you ones with Velcro, okay, that have it on the end so you can just go that way. So at this point, that's how you ace wrap a below the knee amputee. That is a matured limb. It is not what a limb will look like that is coming straight out of surgery. What that limb will look like, who's wearing rings? Anybody wearing rings? Oh, lucky to fuck you. Okay, so come here, young lady. With that beautiful, leave that ring on. With that beautiful ring, pull your sleeves up. All right, so we're gonna wrap right here. Good. So peek over my shoulders, guys. And it's fine. I'll leave it all on. Yeah. This is on purpose. Elbows together. Turn your hands. Perfect. Grip your fingers. Good. Cool. So, how long was Mr. Taylor's residual limb?
5 inches.
Yeah, but I would say about 3 inches of tibia, maybe best 5 inches with all that redundant tissue, right? So the bone was all about yay long. So I'm going to act as if that's the kneecap the best that I can. Okay. And so good. If you bend your elbows a little bit and bring them, there you go. It'll help a little bit. So this might be the shape of your patient, where their thigh comes out this way, and that's their residual limb. Okay. Now she's kind of petite, so she doesn't have a whole lot of big hands here, but we're going to treat it just like a BK amputee. So that, and then I can't really gap the kneecap given the width of this and given what I'm trying to show you, but you want to gap the kneecap in my world. That would be better. Why is it okay for me to gap the kneecap? Because when I gap the kneecap, it's outside of the trim lines of the prosthesis. So it's not going to be something I'm too concerned about with the shape. So if they get a little puffy at the kneecap, I'm all right with that because I roll the liner on and it's not inside my trim lines typically. There are types of prosthetic limbs that do cover the kneecap. Most of them do not. So, and I'm not stretching the heck out of this. I'm just rolling it on, okay? I'm not getting a lot of compression, just a little bit. And something's happening inside of there that she's well aware of, right? And I've chose you, why? I pretty much said it out in front of everybody. Why did I choose you? Because you were wearing a ring, right? Not because I wanted to play with a person that had a ring on, but what is she feeling inside there? Is that ring digging?
It's actually not.
Not so bad. What do you
I just feel more like as you're wrapping my hands, I feel more compression.
More compression around your fingers, and your fingers getting jammed together, right? So it's getting probably relatively uncomfortable at this point, right?
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
And I'm going to have you guys do this to each other. You're all going to wrap each other in the same fashion, and you're going to feel the compression that the patient feels inside. Okay, now this might have been a little bit of a long ace wrap. She might have required something that required that kind of length, but definitely not that kind of width. okay? So you don't want a 5-inch roll on a patient that is really tiny. But for a patient that's, 300 pounds laying there with a big old residual limb, you might have to, you might very well have to put a wider roll on. Now, I will also say that I'm not, and I'll get you out of this because I know you're starting to get uncomfortable. Right, please. And look at the blanching in her fingers, okay? So show everybody that beautiful ring too. Right, redness across the knuckles, right? It's a gorgeous ring. So that, just kind of keep an eye on your fingers. You wrap your partner, and I want you to kind of notice how long that redness goes away. Okay. All right. So you're gonna grab a roll, guys, and you're gonna wrap each other up. I'm gonna critique your wrapping capability.